Hey y'all! Welcome back to Mike and Lakaija's channel, Long and Strong.
What's happening, everybody?
First of all, y'all have been running up them numbers. Thank you so much. All right, so today we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about change.
Change is hard, right? For anybody in general. Do you believe that a person should change for their partner, or should a person change for themselves? Or can a person even change?
Yes, a person could change if they want to change. Change is good if it is in a positive way. Should a person change for their partner? It depends on what it is. So earlier, me and Mike were talking about how if you talk about past relationships with your new partner and you tell them how your last partner was like controlling and you didn't like that and that's the reason you left them. But your new partner that you're talking about this with is also controlling, but he hasn't gotten a chance to show you that. So he works very, very hard not to be controlling because he cares for you and he likes you and he doesn't want things to go bad between you. So he changes that within himself for you so that he can be with you. I think that is a good change, and I feel like, yes, it's changing for somebody, but it's a positive change. So to me, there's nothing wrong with that. That means he worked really hard to maintain a relationship with you, and how can that be bad, you know? And unfortunately, it wasn't for him to change within himself. He didn't do that for himself, but he still did it for you. So it's just like, wow, you really care, you know? Thank you for doing that. And then hopefully, even if that situation don't work out, he can carry that into new relationships and see how that worked for his current relationship or his relationship.
Okay, so do you think that it's going to be a struggle within himself not to be controlling, or it's going to be a struggle within himself when a situation comes up and you say you're going to be out with your girls? Excuse me. You're going to be out with your girls until 3 o'clock in the morning, but he thinks a woman should be home by 1?
If he has a problem with that, I think that he will learn to better communicate his need to control. So instead of suppressing his, because yeah, if we had a conversation about it, and then I also think that
out and y'all are doing harmless fun.
Yes. If they have that conversation, you can have a happy medium. Say, okay, babe, I can't do 1, but I can do 2. Like, he ain't her damn daddy, so it's a compromise. Like, okay, babe, I can be home by 2:30. And also, you bring up change, babe, and you say, like, he's suppressing himself and stuff like that, right? But at the end of the day, change is about suppressing certain things. That's like, if you have, like, I don't know, if you go, for example, to therapy, therapists are going to teach you how to navigate and change your thoughts to do better within yourself and complete your goals. To complete certain goals, you have to change certain behaviors. So if control is a certain behavior you have to work to change that. So yes, if you have to suppress certain things you say or how you operate, then that's changing. And there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion.
Even if it's a struggle within yourself.
It's going to be a struggle because you're changing.
And you know that's not who you are.
You're changing, though. It's going to be a struggle to do something new.
Is there resentment in that?
There could be if he really feel like I really need to control this woman and I don't want to change. But if a woman feels resentment, they can talk about it, they can have conversations, or they can just not be together. If it's that hard for you not to control me or whatever other situation it is that you're trying to change, then maybe we're not meant to be together if you have to suppress yourself so much that now you resent me and now we have a bad relationship. I'm not going to stay in a bad relationship if you resented me so much. So I can't speak for everybody, but that's how I feel. Like, if you have all this resentment from trying to suppress yourself from doing things that traumatize me or that I don't agree with, then we need to reconsider being in a relationship. What's your answers, though? I'm just answering. What's your answers from all the questions?
Well, I think it's hard for people to change, and when you become, get to a certain age, then I think it's hard and almost impossible for somebody to change. You have to really want to change. It has to be something that really deeply affects you to change. Because more than likely, people are going to do what they want to do, no matter what the consequences is, and it affects the other person. Let's say for a person that's on drugs, right? Drugs is a hard thing to get off of. You see that it hurts your family. You see that it hurts, your relationships with your wife, your kids, and all that good stuff, right? But that person ain't going to change unless they want to change. If that makes sense. They're not going to change unless they want to change. So, me personally, I come to accept a person for what they are. I don't expect a change out of nothing. Now, we can communicate and be like, hey, I don't like when you do this or that or whatever. Okay, so you know my feelings now. But for you to change, that's up to you if you can do that.
That's true. And if I decide to do it, then I'm changing, right? And if it takes a lot for me to decide to do it, and it takes a lot every time I want to do that something that I'm trying to change in, and I have to suppress that willingness to do it, that's me changing. And that's not a bad thing, because you had an honest talk with me about, hey, babe, I didn't like this, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, I'm going to work on that. Me working on that is changing because I care about you enough to change that behavior. That's what a relationship is. It takes work, it takes a little bit of change, and it takes like partnership, It takes honesty. Like if we having deep conversations about things we don't like about one another or things from the past we didn't like, that's not us trying to control one another. That is us getting to know one another, getting to know each other's triggers. That's us being able to navigate our relationship in a way that's healthy for us.
So maybe I should have said certain change.
Well, change is change though, so you good.
No.
No.
I don't think change is change ain't change.
Okay.
Drugs is hard to change.
That's very true, babe. But that's why people who can't get off drugs by themselves go to places like rehab. Rehab will change you. Therapy. Some people, all people don't need rehab. Some people just need
to change, man.
Say it again, babe. I was talking.
You have to really want to change, even when you go to therapy.
You do.
There's people that go to AA meetings when they, get DUIs, right?
Yeah.
They get blood tested here and there, blah, blah, blah. Got to go to all these meetings. But once they complete that class, guess what they're going to do?
They can, because they didn't really want to change. They were forced to change. That's not them wanting to change.
It's hard, though.
It's hard, but if you decide that, okay, I actually don't want to be an alcoholic, you're going to work very hard to suppress those feelings and not be an alcoholic.
Yeah, but that's like you fighting in your head.
Yeah, that's what it is, babe. That's what mental health is all about. Mental health is about you not being able to control certain behaviors, tics, whatever the case may be. You go to a psychologist or a therapist so that they can teach you how to control those type of things. Or you go to rehab for you to learn how to not drink alcohol, or to cleanse yourself, and then hopefully you don't go back to it because you just paid all this money to change. And if you go back to doing whatever you was doing to change, then I guess you never really changed. But hopefully you change in a way that lets you know, like, this is really good for me. This is a positive change. I want to stay this way.
But see, you have reinforcement when you go to rehab. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you get out of rehab, there ain't nobody but you there.
Yeah.
You was already weak in the beginning.
And
you succumb, to your habit.
Yeah.
The bad habit, I should say. So you have to really, really want to do that for yourself.
You do. I agree.
not for nobody else. I think if you try to change for somebody else, it's not going to work.
I agree, babe. I do agree. And that's why when you get out of rehab, you can decide, man, F rehab, I'm going back to my old ways. Or you can decide, okay, I'm back out in the open. There's nobody to tell me what to do, but I want to remain strong and I'm going to implement the change that rehab taught me and I'm going to keep being changed. I know people who've been in rehab before. I know people who were on hardcore drugs, who were alcoholics, who completely changed their life around because they wanted to. So,
I don't know that.
No, you don't know nobody who's ever been an alcoholic who's completely changed their life around. Well, I grew up around a lot of type of people.
No, I don't. So I know this person that had went to prison, right? And they were saying all this good stuff. Oh, when I get out, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I learned my lesson. I don't want to go back there, right? So I tell another person this, why this person had went to jail, and I'm like, nah, he's not going back to doing that. I guarantee you, he's not going back to do that. So the person says, listen, man, I'm telling you, that's his way of life. When he get out, he gonna go back to doing what he did. I'm telling you, it's hard not to go back to do that. Guess what? When he got out, guess what he went back to doing?
He did it.
He did exactly what put him in there in the first place. That's what he went back to doing.
Right. So it just sounds like you've experienced a lot of people not doing what they said they were going to do and not actually changing. So that's why you don't have faith that people can change. But like you said, also, people have to want to do it. People have to work hard to do it. And that's the only way.
He was locked up. He wanted to do it.
Probably did. But if you really want to change, you can do it. People recover all the time. People seek therapy for a reason. People, build positive friendship circles for a reason if they have been struggling with something like that. So
now, I think with the people seeking therapy, they can't stop. You have to continuously do therapy. That's in my opinion. You have to continuously do it because there's a reinforcement there and there's a thought process there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know how you can learn how to ride a bike, but then when you don't know how to ride a bike, you got to learn again.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the same way.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool.
You need to constantly ride that bike to not go back to your old ways.
Right. And that's what somebody will be doing in a relationship. Constantly reminding themselves, okay, don't be controlling. Don't be controlling. All right, I'm going to have a conversation with my partner instead of controlling them. Let's compromise and work it out some different way rather than me being authoritative and telling them what to do, asking them what can we do differently. Yeah. That's how you build a healthy relationship. All right. Anything else, babe?
Change part. I hope people can change. Prove me wrong. I don't believe in
it. All right, y'all. Well,
I said sorry.
You good. All right, y'all. Well, as y'all can see, this was a difficult conversation to have today. But we hope that we were still able to share with you guys, why talking about stuff like this is important with your partner. And that, hopefully you learned something. So thank y'all for watching. We hope you have a fantastic weekend. And we'll see you on Monday. God, we hope that something we said here today can help somebody learn to communicate better with their partners and be able to have open, honest conversation. Amen. And also that everybody has a fantastic and safe weekend. Amen. Amen. See y'all. Mwah.
See y'all later.